The concept of using horses to improve human health began way back in Greek and Roman times. In more recent history, an equestrian silver medal in the 1952 Olympics put wheelchair-bound rider Liz Hartle firmly in the international spotlight and spurred on the modern use of horses for rehabilitating the disabled. In New Zealand, the first riding for the disabled group was formed in 1962. The Christchurch branch formed a little over a decade later, and there are currently 56 active RDA groups around the country. This morning, the first part of the day is devoted to the younger riders.
What's a good rider? Head up again, head up again, head up, head up.
Laura Neeson has been riding here for the last 2.5 years. At first reluctant and only able to lie down, she has progressed to sitting up and almost being able to ride without support. I asked volunteer Ray Tester what it is he finds rewarding about his sessions with Laura.
The fact that you see so much progress, and she thoroughly enjoys it, and she really, really works hard. You know, I'm constantly nagging her, constantly asking her to do more. And she responds, and certainly when we first started working with her, there was very little response to verbal communication. You could move her physically to move her to make her do things, but maybe 12 months ago we started to get some sort of response from verbal instructions, and now I just give her more and more encouragement, and she responds, and it's just magic to see it happen. Push up on those arms. Oh, that's good. Oh, a big smile.
There are a total of 75 volunteers at Christchurch RDA, and Ray isn't the only member of his family that's lending a helping hand.
My wife is here as well. She loves horses, and I decided to come down and see what went on. I actually much prefer to work with the children than the horses. There's always somebody who has to lead the horse, and I always try and get out of that if I can. I'd much rather work with the riders.
Although preferring to focus his attention on the riders, I asked Ray what is it that horses offer in comparison to more conventional forms of rehabilitation.
It's the movement of the horses that actually makes the children actually have to work. So, you know, they're doing a lot of effort, but it's the movement of the horse creates different movements in the body. It's the warmth of the horse, and a lot of it is also the psychological feeling of it, because they can bond with the horse much better than they can bond with people. And you know, the change in Laura when she comes to ride, you know, she loves going on Gypsy. Sometimes when we turned her over on a tummy, Gypsy is particularly nervous about people touching the hindquarters, and she can get very nervous and skittish. That's happened a few times, and Laura loves it. She laughs and really enjoys it. And at times it's got to the stage where I've almost been prepared to take her off because the horse is getting a bit too skittish. But Laura loves it. She just thinks it's wonderful.
Well, the kids love you, and you can see that Laura just adored you, but you must get the parents, I mean, you must see a lot of emotion from the parents when they see their children interacting for the first time or smiling and laughing. Yeah. How is that?
It's great, it's great. I wear a greenstone necklace that one of the parents gave me.
Oh, really?
At the end of one term. And that was blessed for me by the parents, and that's, you know, that means a lot to me, and I wear that all the time now. You know, that was just from working with one of the children, and it's just great. I get so much fun out of it. I'm the one that gets more fun than they do, I think.
In addition to a team of dedicated and skilled volunteers, RDA also requires a very special kind of horse to do this job well. Quiet ground manners and a friendly nature are non-negotiable prerequisites, and there also seems to be an intrinsic understanding from these horses of their riders' unique needs.
They definitely know what sort of rider they've got on their back, and they know them the next time they come to ride them. It's, yeah, very intelligent.
Do they keep consistently working with the same horse when they come week after week?
Yes, quite often get matched up with the same horse, and then they can progress onto another horse. It all varies.
Do they get attached to their horse?
Yeah, we all do. How could you not?
Exactly,
But,
it must be a lovely thing to see, that you get a bond with a horse.
It is great, and they're all working for each other, and I think the horses get attached to them too, and it is, it's a really good environment.
Kate Bruce is the resident physiotherapist at Christchurch Riding for the Disabled. She splits her time between the centre and more traditional gymnasium-based physio work. She explains what is so special about the use of horses.
The horse is a wonderful and unique tool for a physio. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing in a standard gym that moves in the way that a horse can move. It's that unique 3D movement that's very, very similar to the way a human walks, and that's what's so special about the movement of a horse, that you can't get anywhere else. A Swiss ball or an exercise bike can't give you that. So for us, we see completely different improvements, things we never knew people could do, and that's part of the rewarding aspect of this job.
You must be reasonably used to seeing improvements. That's your job, to make a difference. But is there anyone that sort of has even shocked you with just the progress they've made?
I would say pretty much every rider shocks us, because we never know what we're going to get and we never know how they're going to respond. There's no point in sort of hoping you're going to get somebody who goes from a wheelchair to then walking, because yes, it can happen, but the improvements might not be as much as that. The improvement may just be that that person starts to talk or communicate, or they touch their horse. So improvement is always there, and it's there in every rider. It's just not perhaps seen in the way that everybody would expect improvement to be. So it can be very small, subtle things that means a lot to that person and their family.
Lewis Ging has been attending RDA for the past 8 months. His love of animals got him off to a flying start. His parents are thrilled with the changes they've seen in him over that time.
Oh, certainly, in his horse riding capabilities, just been absolutely amazing, and his confidence just generally all round. Before, when he first started coming here, he was basically using a walking frame to get around. He's now progressed to using walking sticks and doing some independent walking of his own, which has just been absolutely fantastic. And the fact that he really enjoys it as a form of therapy is brilliant.
Walk on blokey.
Good boy.
He's grown up around animals. We've got lots of pets. We've got a few sheep, so he loves being around animals, and just being able to incorporate that part of home life into his therapy as well is fantastic. So he's learning without realising it.
Riders can be referred to RDA from many sources, often healthcare professionals or caregivers. Lucy Mackay suffers from short-term memory loss, a side effect of her epilepsy. It was her primary school teacher that suggested RDA to her mother, Jackie.
And you were saying before that Lucy would write the same thing over and over again, whereas now you're seeing a massive difference.
Now her sentences are actually expanding, and the teachers, have said there's improvement there. Her alertness and wanting to go out and play on the bars. She didn't have a lot of core strength, and this is helping with her core strength and things like that. So she's a lot more confident. And just at home and wanting to do her reading and things like that, really.
And how long has she been coming to RDA?
About a month.
A month?
A month, yes.
So that's incredible. So to see such amazing improvements in Lucy's schoolwork and her reading and her writing and her communication with other people in only a month, that shows you how powerful the therapy is.
It is really powerful, and the people here are amazing people. They are so kind and always the same, and it's not on show or anything. They are passionate about what they do.
Independence can be a big issue for disabled children, and Kate Bruce explains how, once again, horses can provide a unique experience for many.
Say for a child who lives in a wheelchair most of their time and they don't experience their own movement, horse gives them movement that they don't get from other people or from themselves. So there's that aspect. There's also for the children who can sit on a horse and start to steer it by themselves and start to control their own directions and their own movement. That sort of aspect of independence is phenomenal too. And I think there's also the fact that, the kids are riding and their parents aren't, and it's something special to them, and that's what they're doing. And so they become the focus of attention, and a lot of kids like that too.
It's now afternoon at the Christchurch RDA, and today that means it's time for the adult riders. Suzanne Reiser has been undergoing therapy for a rare autoimmune disorder, which left her paralysed from the neck down. She has spent the last 2.5 years slowly regaining her mobility, and RDA now plays an important role in her recovery.
It's been amazing because when I started here at the beginning of the year last year, I was still walking with a stick, and my balance was still quite poor, and in the space of a year, basically, now I don't need to walk with a stick anymore. My muscles are much stronger, my coordination's much better, my balance is much better, and apparently it's good for your brain too, which can't be a bad thing.
Can't be a bad thing.
So yeah, so it's been really enormously helpful.
Do you think your recovery has been brought on quicker by the ability to be able to ride here at RDA?
I think so. I think, yeah, really, definitely. And also, I don't think you can underestimate the emotional side of it, because I get such pleasure from being around the horses, and everybody here is so nice too, so I think that really helps as well. It boosts you, you know, when you've been in hospital for such a long time and you've been completely paralysed and stuff. It just really helps you find that inner core of yourself again, which is really good.
Tracy Evans suffers from multiple sclerosis. She's a regular rider here at Christchurch RDA. Volunteer Janet Shand explains what Tracy's physio work is aiming to achieve.
She is a rider who's come for strengthening or stabilising. With multiple sclerosis, we know that it's a degenerative condition, and so what we're doing is we're trying to maintain what she has and give a little bit more strength there, and encouraging those muscles to give her a little bit more balance and coordination when she's on the ground. So this change of rein the whole time is giving her cognitive skills, focusing on something else in which she can do in conjunction with her riding, and I think she's enjoying doing that too.
With therapy over for the day, the horses are fed and taken to their home paddock next door. Some of the lucky ones are heading off for a well-earned holiday in the Canterbury foothills. No such luck for President Jane Finlay. With 5 part-time paid staff, Christchurch RDA operates without any government assistance. However, despite tight financial times, the organisation continues to make ends meet.
We have a fundraising person who very kindly does a great job of applying to grants and funds. So we do that, and then we also have got the arena which we hire out at every opportunity that we can, and that brings in some money as well.
And in amongst her administrative duties, Jane is also involved in goal setting for riders, an intrinsic part of the therapy process.
It's really important that they have goals, whether it is a Grand Prix rider or a beginner RDA rider. You've got to have some structure. So we do go about setting goals. We talk to their occupational therapist, their physio. If the child is at school, they have their what they call their IEP, which is an individual education program. So they will have goals. So we talk to the parents about the goals.
And there are even occasions when the posts on those goals need to be shifted.
A mother came to me with her young son and said that her thought that for the goal for term 1 would be if he could possibly sit up. So off we go. Well, within half an hour he was sitting up unaided with a smile on his face. So I said to her, well, I guess we're going to have to revise that goal. So that was one of those goosebump moments.
And it's those moments that keep the staff, the volunteers, the riders and their families coming back.
Many times we turn around and you can see tears in mum or dad's eyes, and you just don't realise what a difference the horse and coming here makes to that particular child's life. It's amazing, it really is.
Jane and her team here at Canterbury Park make a very real difference to the lives of those that suffer from mental, physical and learning disabilities.